luxury vinyl tile with Versalock AG technology is quick and easy to install and ready to walk on immediately. The locking mechanism reliably secures the flooring panels on all 4 sides without adhesive. This is a floating installation system, therefore an expansion gap, at least the thickness of the product, must be maintained around the perimeter and any stationary objects. Recommended expansion gap is 1/4 inch. Door jambs must be undercut high enough to allow the planks to float and deep enough to maintain the expansion gap. Standard site conditions are required. The floor should be smooth, permanently dry, and free of any contaminants, with the temperature maintained between 65 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit before, during, and after the installation. The flooring should be acclimated in the area to be installed for a minimum of 48 hours, away from direct sunlight and air handling vents. Planks are usually installed parallel to the longest wall. Measure the width of the area to determine the width of the last row of planks. It is preferable to have the first and last rows close to the same width and not less than half a plank. If you determine the last row will be less than 2 inches wide, trim your start row accordingly. The goal is to achieve a completely random visual. Therefore, always work from a minimum of 3 cartons at a time, and occasionally stand back to verify the randomness. Facing the start wall, you will be working left to right. Start the first row away from the wall by angling the end tongue of the second plank into the end groove of the first plank. The joint will lock when the second plank is lowered to the floor. Complete the first row by making certain the planks are straight and square. For larger areas, you may want to install the first 2 rows at the same time to help maintain squareness. Measure for the last plank in the row and cut it to size by scoring and snapping. Planks should never be less than 6 inches long. If the last piece is too short, adjust the first piece in the row and reinstall the row. The remainder of the last plank may be used as a start piece for a later row. The first plank in the second row is cut down in length to create a staggered inseam. Inseams should be a minimum of 6 inches apart. The first plank in the row is placed by engaging the long tongue into the side groove and rotating the plank to the floor. For the remaining planks in the row, engage the end joint first, as close to the side of the installed plank as you can, and pull or pop the side tongue and groove together. The plank should lay flat when lowered to the floor. After locking 3 or 4 rows together, slide the assembled flooring against spacers at the start wall. It is much easier to install the planks by working on top of the new floor. Continue in this manner for the remainder of the floor. In many cases, the end pieces provide start pieces and start cuts provide end pieces. Remember to maintain the expansion gap on all sides, stagger seams, and work for multiple boxes. Be careful not to create a repetitive staggering pattern with end joints. A pull bar or pry bar may be needed when door jambs prevent lifting the plank sufficiently to engage the tongue in the groove. That's it. Your floor is now ready to be lived on.
Brought to you by the Shaw Learning Academy and the Product Support Group.